At the start of the drama, we see female lead Lu cutting her hair. Just then, her friend Gu Xiao arrives and stops her, saying, "You've only passed the first round. You don't need to cut your hair for this." In reality, Lu wanted to work at a company called Anshan Technology, but for the past few years they hadn't hired any female programmers. People believed it was very difficult for women to pass their test. Because of this, Lu didn't want to take any risks and said, "I can grow my hair back, but this is my last chance." To this, Gu Xiao replies, "We're living in the 21st century. You don't need to cut your hair to become a boy." She then takes Lu to a salon where she shows her a wig. Seeing the wig, Lu becomes very happy because her problem is solved. Now she can apply for the job. On the other hand, we see the male lead, Yi Cheng, who is on a blind date with a girl under his parents' insistence. There, as soon as he sees a statue of a chicken, he gets scared because he is very afraid of birds. At the same time, we see Lu, who on her friend's suggestion, dresses up like a boy and gets selected for the interview. Then Lu and Gu Xiao go out for lunch together, where the waitress addresses Lu as Sir. Seeing this, Lu becomes very happy because everyone believes she is a boy and their plan is working. At a nearby table, Yi Cheng is sitting with his blind date. However, he has no interest in the girl, so to save time, he calls another girl to the same date. Seeing this, both girls get angry. Yi Cheng doesn't understand that a blind date is not like an interview. A woman sitting nearby overhears his conversation and also gets angry with him. She starts recording him. Meanwhile, the two girls throw water on Yi Cheng and walk away, but Yi Cheng ducks at the right moment, and all the water spills on Lu. Seeing this, Gu Xiao is about to fight with the girls, but as soon as Lu turns around and sees Yi Cheng, she stops Gu Xiao. Gu Xiao demands compensation from Yi Cheng, but Lu refuses and hands him tissues instead. Then Gu Xiao takes Lu outside. Outside, Gu Xiao uploads the video on social media, writing, "Look at this guy who came on a date with two girls." Just then, Lu receives a call from a professor who used to teach programming in college. He asks her to meet him. The professor says, "Today I want to introduce you to one of your seniors, Yi Cheng." Hearing this, Lu falls silent because she is scared that Yi Cheng might recognize her. When Yi Cheng arrives, the professor calls out to her, but Lu says, "I just remembered something urgent, so I need to leave." But Yi Cheng stops her and asks, "Why have you covered your face?" Lu replies, "Because I am very ugly." To this, Yi Cheng says, "It's okay, I still want to see." He removes the mask from her face, and we see that Lu has covered her entire face with ink. The professor asks, "What happened to your face?" Lu replies, "Ink spilled on my face," and quickly runs away. Yi Cheng asks the professor, "Is this the girl you wanted to introduce me to?" The professor explains, "Lu is a very talented girl, but I don't know what happened to her today." Yi Cheng says, "Professor, I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't hire female programmers in my company." Hearing this, the professor asks, "Are you still affected by that incident?" But Yi Cheng leaves without answering. At night, Lu is looking through her photo album. She comes across a photo from her college days in which Yi Cheng is giving her a certificate, and his gaze is fixed only on her. Lu cuts out her and Yi Cheng's photo from the picture and pastes it into her diary. Here, we learn that she has liked Yi Cheng for a long time. This is why she wants to work at his company, to be closer to him. Meanwhile, Yi Cheng finds out about the video that Gu Xiao uploaded. He receives many hate comments because of it. Yi Cheng asks Gu Xiao to delete the video, but she refuses. He suspects that Lu is behind this. Yi Cheng thinks he refused to take compensation from me, so why is he plotting against me now? The next day, Lu goes to Anshan Technology for her final round of interviews. By mistake, she enters the women's restroom instead of the men's. Seeing this, the women working there start hitting her. At the right moment, the company's vice president, Yi Ming, arrives. He tells everyone he's here for the interview, and this might have happened because of nervousness. Listening to Yi Ming, the women leave. Yi Ming tells Lu, "I've reviewed your qualifications. You're very talented. Don't be nervous during the interview." Saying this, he leaves. Then we see Yi Cheng, who is considering hiring a lawyer to take action against the person who uploaded the video. At that moment, his eyes fall on Lu's resume, and he realizes that Lu is interviewing at his company. After everyone's interviews are done, Yi Cheng calls Lu in. Lu performs very well in the interview. Yi Cheng removes the paper covering his face, claps, and says, "See, we meet again." Hearing this, Lu becomes a little nervous and asks, "Did you recognize me?" Yi Cheng replies, "Yes, why not? You do look a bit like girls." Lu says, "You should focus on my skills, not my appearance, which are very good." Yi Cheng asks, "All right, so do you want to know the result?" Lu answers, "Yes." Yi Cheng tears up her resume and says, "You failed the interview." Lu asks, "Can I know the reason for this?" Yi Cheng replies, "Because you're two-faced. You refused to take compensation, but then you uploaded that video. I despise people like that." Saying this, he leaves, and Yiming feels very bad for Lu. At home, Lu tells her best friend Gu Xiao everything. Gu Xiao says, I know you want to join this company only because of Yi Cheng, but didn't you see what kind of person he is? Lu responds, it's not what you think. He's a good person. Lu asks Gu Xiao to delete the video. Gu Xiao deletes it and messages Yi Cheng, explaining Lu had nothing to do with it and asks him to give her the job, but Yi Cheng refuses. The next day, Lu goes to a restaurant for lunch with her mother. Her mother says, I brought you here so you could experience the outside world and see how other girls live, but you're always buried in your computer. Just then, Lu's mother's classmate arrives, someone she has never really liked. They immediately begin exchanging sarcastic remarks. Meanwhile, Yi Cheng arrives, and it is revealed that Yi Cheng is the son of Lu's mother's classmate. When Lu sees this, she hides her face, greets him awkwardly, and runs off under the pretext of fixing her makeup. However, her keychain falls there. Yi Cheng picks it up and follows her. When Lu sees him coming after her, she panics and, finding no other option, jumps into the swimming pool. Yi Cheng frantically looks for her, but when he spots her in the water, he jumps in to save her. However, Lu climbs out of the pool and kicks him in the face before running away. Yi Cheng's mother approaches him and asks him to go on another blind date. When Yi Cheng refuses, his mother says, if you already like someone, just tell me. Hearing this, Yi Cheng shows her the keychain and says, I want her. His mother looks pleased after hearing this. The next day, when Yi Cheng arrives at his company, Lu brings him breakfast and says, I had your video deleted, so please forgive me. Yi Cheng refuses and starts walking away. After much pleading from Lu, he forgives her, but still doesn't offer her a job. Lu then starts following him every day, trailing behind him persistently. Frustrated, Yi Cheng says, all positions in the company are already filled, so there's no job for you here. Later, when Lu sees Yi Cheng's father at the office, Yi Cheng's father tells him, your mother is very worried because you're not dating anyone. If you don't go on a date, I'll pull my investment from your company. Hearing this, Yi Cheng becomes troubled and sits down. At that moment, Lu arrives, and Yi Cheng, seeing her, says, I told you there are no vacant positions in this company, so how are you here now? Lu replies, at least tell me why you rejected me so I can work on my skills. Besides, you won't find an employee like me anywhere else. I'm unique and can solve any problem. Hearing this, Yi Cheng gets an idea and takes Lu with him to a blind date. At the date, a girl who liked Yi Cheng wanted to teach him rock climbing, but Yi Cheng told her, take Lu instead because I'm afraid of heights. Lu hesitates but realizes this is her only chance to get a job, so she agrees. Yi Cheng is surprised by her determination. Somehow, Lu overcomes her fear and successfully climbs the hill, even winning. However, she slips and falls, but Yi Cheng saves her. As they leave, Yi Cheng is about to thank Lu, but suddenly a bird lands on his hand, terrifying him and causing him to lose control. Then Lu somehow manages to calm Yi Cheng, closes his eyes, holds his hand, and leads him away. Impressed by her actions, Yi Cheng finally agrees to give her a job in his company and says, my condition for hiring you is that you'll accompany me on all my blind dates. Hearing this, Lu happily agrees because she'd gotten closer to Yi Cheng. On Lu's first day at the office, she notices that everyone is wearing checkered shirts. She decides to order one for herself as well. In reality, these checkered shirts were worn on special occasions, and today's special occasion was Lu's first day at the company. Lu then meets everyone, including her. There were 5 people in the programming team. She asks them, why are there no female programmers in our department? They explain to her that years ago, a girl had troubled Yi Cheng, and since then, he stopped hiring female programmers. Later, Lu goes to collect her ID card, for which she needs to provide her address verification. Her real photo was on her ID card, but at the reception, Miss Lizzie was sitting, and she instantly became infatuated with Lu at first sight. Lu takes advantage of this and somehow escapes the situation. In the next scene, we see that the office has a small play area for employees. To celebrate Lu's first day, her teammates take her to a gaming center. At the center, the losing team gets scolded and mocked, especially targeting Lu for looking like a girl. However, Lu handles the situation gracefully. But things escalate when they start to get physical, and just as they're about to hit Lu, Yi Cheng arrives and saves her. Yi Cheng scolds the group saying, I'm very rich. I'll sue you, and all of you will end up in jail. There are a lot of CCTV cameras here. Hearing this, they quietly leave. After they're gone, Yi Cheng asks Lu, you look like a girl, but are you really a girl? He approaches her and touches her neck, saying, why don't you have an Adam's apple? But Lu quickly comes up with an excuse and escapes the situation. At home, Lu tells Gu Xiao everything. Hearing this, Gu Xiao gets an idea. The next day, Gu Xiao shows up at Lu's office and acts as if she's Lu's girlfriend. Everyone is shocked to see that someone who looks like a boy has a girlfriend. After this drama, Yiming asks Lu to join him for lunch. Lu happily agrees and goes with him. During lunch, Yiming, Lu, and Yicheng are talking. Lu shares, "You two were quite famous in college and people considered you their idols." Yicheng asks Lu, "Who's your idol?" Yicheng assumed Lu would name him, but Lu didn't want to name him in front of him, so she names Yiming instead. Hearing this, Yicheng gets annoyed. He offers Lu some food. In fact, Lu was allergic to seafood, but she quietly ate it anyway because it was the first time Yicheng had offered her food. When they reached the office, Yiming found out about Lu's seafood allergy, so he called her over and gave her medicine. In the next scene, we see Yicheng's mother asking her friend, "Can you recommend a girl for my son?" Hearing this, her friend says, "Which girl would want to marry your son, who takes another boy with him on every date?" This worries Yicheng's mother, and she tells her daughter, Yi Tong, about it. She says, "Go to your brother's office and find out who this boy is that he takes on dates." Hearing this, Yi Tong starts to get anxious, wondering if the boy is Yiming, because she has liked Yiming for a long time. Then Yi Tong arrives at the company and alarms start blaring. Seeing this, everyone starts running around in panic. It becomes clear that everyone is disturbed by Yi Tong's presence and that she is quite feared by the staff. The only way to avoid Yi Tong was through Yiming, so everyone leaves him with her. Yi Tong calls out to Yiming from outside the door, "Are you dating my brother? And is that why you're still single?" Yiming replies, "You're misunderstanding." Hearing this, Yi Tong is relieved and says that she's not here for her brother, but for Yiming. She then asks him to come with her, but Yiming says he's busy. The staff says, "You can leave." Yi Tong replies, "Maybe there's an issue with the door." She breaks down the door and drags Yiming away with her. Lu finds out that everyone is going to the hot water bath. She feels that her secret will be exposed, so she refuses to go. But when this doesn't work, she arrives late to the office the next day. She thinks everyone must have already left, but then Yicheng arrives, waiting for her. Yicheng asks, "Why are you late?" Lu makes an excuse about traffic. Yicheng then takes her with him. Yicheng says, "My neck hurts. You drive the car." Lu agrees, but she drives very fast. After they reach the resort, Yicheng says, "I won't come with you again." Inside, Lu finds out she has to share a room with Yicheng. She tries to escape from the resort, but her colleagues catch her and take her back. When Lu comes out after changing, she is in an odd outfit to avoid anyone realizing she is a girl. Then, as soon as the men realize that female colleagues are showering nearby, they quietly begin to watch them. The female employees get angry and run after the men to beat them. Lu doesn't run away. She then realizes that she's in the role of a boy at that moment. Lu jumps into the water. Yicheng thinks she's drowning, so he jumps in to save her. After this, all the girls punish the boys. They decide that for one day all the boys will wear girls' clothes. Lu notices that Yicheng's neck pain is worsening, so she goes to get a heat patch for him. There, she meets Yiming. Yiming says, "If you don't want to share a room, you can stay in a separate room." Lu replies, "There are no rooms available. I'll manage." Lu then leaves. Yiming said this because he had realized Lu was a girl. He had seen her changing clothes earlier. On the other hand, Lu goes to get a medical patch for Yicheng. She gets delayed and Yicheng asks, "Where were you?" Lu tells him, "I went to get medicine." Hearing this, Yicheng is surprised. Now, Lu starts giving Yicheng a massage, which makes him feel uncomfortable. He stops her and asks her to bring water, but there is beer in the fridge instead of water, so he tells her, "Bring the beer." Yicheng has a low alcohol tolerance, so after drinking one beer, he begins to get drunk and asks people to hug him. Lu somehow manages to handle him and takes him to bed. Meanwhile, we see Yi Tong, who, as soon as she gets home, her father asks, "Did you find out which boy your brother is dating?" Yi Tong, who had no interest in her brother's life, says, "I only know that the boy is not Yiming." However, her father tempts her by saying, "If you find out about the boy, I will buy you your favorite car." So Yi Tong heads to the resort and goes directly to the room to meet Yicheng. Yicheng kicks her out of the room and Yi Tong says, "I thought you both were dating, but I didn't know you shared a room." Yi Tong speaks too much, so Yicheng explains to her, "It's all just an excuse. You shouldn't misunderstand." Meanwhile, Yiming starts taking care of Lu and was about to tell her that he knows the truth about her. But then Yi Tong and Yicheng arrive. The siblings get jealous upon seeing Lu and Yiming together. Now everyone goes horse riding. But Lu doesn't know how to ride, so her horse becomes uncontrollable. Yicheng saves her. The next day, males comes to the office dressed in girls' costumes because they received a punishment. As soon as Lu arrives, everyone starts staring at her. When Yicheng sees Lu, His attention is distracted for a moment. Then he calls her to his office and says, "Are you going to wear this mask all day?" Lu replies, "Yes." So Yi-chung removes her mask himself. He stops after seeing her because Lu looks very beautiful. He then says, "Change out of this costume." After she leaves, he thinks, "Do I really like boys?" He feels confused about his emotions. The next day, Lu gets her period and doesn't have any sanitary pads with her. So she calls Gu Xiao to ask for pads. Lu is in the washroom for a long time, so Yi-chung starts looking for her. At the same time, Gu Xiao is about to go to the washroom, but before anyone else arrives, Gu Xiao's friend Gomo shows up. He sends Yi-chung out on a pretext and gives Lu the packet. When Lu comes out of the washroom, Yi-chung is waiting for her. He notices that Lu is in a lot of pain, so he decides to take her home. The next day, Yi-tong is appointed as the company's publicity director. She tells everyone to change their clothes because, in her opinion, checkered shirts are a sign of old fashion. Everyone reluctantly takes off their shirts, and Yi-tong asks Lu to do the same. Just then, Yi-chung arrives and angrily tells Yi-tong, "How can you do this to my staff? This is a gaming company, not a fashion show." As a result, everyone returns to their clothes, and Lu feels a bit embarrassed. Afterward, Lu goes to Yiming for a document. Yiming is making coffee, and he teaches Lu how to make coffee while also making coffee for her. Yi-tong and Yi-chung both see this, and they start feeling jealous. When Lu is about to drink her coffee, Yi-chung takes the coffee from her hand and drinks it himself, saying, "I didn't hire you here to make coffee." Then he takes Lu and leaves from there. Yi-chung teaches Lu all the games of the company, and they have a lot of fun. While playing the games, Lu strikes some poses and takes pictures. Yi-chung looks at the pictures and says, "These are such strange poses." Lu smiles and says, "These poses are for the letters I like." Hearing this, Yi-chung becomes a little surprised and curious. He then leaves Lu there and goes away. On a holiday, when Lu is at home, her mother gets angry at her because she only had boyish clothes. Therefore, she takes Lu shopping, but Yi-chung also comes there with Yiming. Yi-chung looks at Lu from behind and recognizes her as the same girl who always runs away when she sees him. So, he starts following her because he wants to know why she runs away when she sees him. While running, Lu hides in a store dressing room. Yi-chung reaches there and says, "Why do you always run when you see me? I'll see how long you stay hidden inside." Just then, a store clerk comes and says, "Sir, there is no one inside. Are you here to buy undergarments?" Upon hearing this, Yi-chung has to leave. After this, Yiming comes in front of Lu and says, "I'll wait for your explanation." Saying this, he leaves. Yi-chung approaches Yiming and asks, "Where did you go?" Yiming replies, "I was waiting for you." Then Yiming receives a message from Lu inviting him to meet. Yiming goes to meet Lu and says, "Ah, so this is how you really look." Lu thanks him because he had told the store clerk to say there was no one inside. Yiming apologizes to Lu and says, "I saw you changing clothes at the resort. That's when I found out you're a girl." Yiming adds, "I always wanted a girl to work as a programmer in our company and break the stereotypes created by Yi-chung." Lu says, "You've helped me a lot, so I'll wash all your coffee mugs." Yiming responds, "If you want to help me, why don't we become friends?" The next day, Yi-chung feels very jealous upon seeing Lu and Yiming together. He says, "These days you two are getting pretty close, aren't you?" Yiming replies, "It's because we share a secret and we were talking about it." Then Lu compliments the coffee Yiming made. Yi-chung says, "It's so bitter." Yi-chung goes to his cabin and starts looking at the pictures Lu took, where she posed with the letters Y and C. He thinks, "These are the letters of my name." Then he adds, No, this can't be me." In the next scene, Lu forgets her ID card at home, so her mother comes to the office to give it to her. Arriving outside the company, her mother calls Lu. As soon as Lu finds out that her mother is coming upstairs, she quickly grabs her bag and starts heading downstairs to change her clothes. At that moment, Yi-chung comes looking for Lu near her desk, but Lu is not there. However, he notices a small ring on her desk, which makes him even more suspicious. Now Yi-chung becomes more convinced that Lu is the same girl who always runs away when she sees him. He calls the college professor and asks, "Was there a girl named Lu in your college?" The professor replies, "There was such a girl, but I don't know her future career path." Yi-chung then goes to the receptionist for a clearer answer and requests Lu's documents. The receptionist says, Lu didn't bring his documents, nor has he submitted them yet. Yi-chung's suspicions deepen further. Meanwhile, Lu is returning to the office with lunch from her mother. Yi-chung sees her and asks everyone around, "Did you see a girl?" But no one knows anything about Lu or her truth. Later, Yi-chung goes upstairs and sees Lu sitting next to Yiming, who has been working for a long time. This leaves Yi-chung confused. Now, Yi-chang starts searching even more for answers. On the other hand, Lu's mother, while at the bus stop, remembers that she forgot to give Lu her ID card in her hurry. She returns to the receptionist and says, "My daughter Lu works in the programming department." The receptionist replies, "There is no girl working in the programming department." When the receptionist checks Lu's details in the system, it is revealed that Lu is actually a boy. Seeing this, Lu's mother becomes furious and discovers Lu's secret. At night, when Lu comes home, her mother checks Lu's bag and finds boy's clothes and a wig. Now Lu's truth is out in the open. Her mother pressures her to quit the job. The next day, Lu is worried at the office. Seeing her troubled, Yiming asks, "What's wrong?" Lu tells him everything that happened the day before. She says, "I want to work at this company because the environment here is really good." Hearing this, Yiming reassures her, "You should work where you feel happy." Saying this, he pats her on the head. From a distance, Yi-chang sees this and becomes quite irritated. When Lu comes back, Yi-chang angrily says to her, "Do you have so much free time that you sit anywhere and chat away?" Saying this, he gives her a lot of work and orders her to arrange the entire storeroom. If Lu had done this work alone, she would have had to work late into the night. So Yiming comes to help her, and together they finish the work quickly. Seeing all this, Yi-chang realizes that he may have given Lu too much work today. He goes to check on her, but when he sees that she has completed all the work, he is quite surprised and thinks, someone must have helped him. The next day, Lu takes breakfast for everyone at the office. They catch her and try to uncover her secret, but just then, Yi-chang arrives and scolds everyone, making them leave. Then he says to Lu, "Come with me." In reality, he takes her to the university to reveal her truth, where he intended to introduce her to a professor. Lu is happy to visit the university, but Yi-chang then tells her, "I brought you here to meet the professor." Hearing this, Lu is shocked. She pretends to have a stomachache, but Yi-chang takes her to the professor anyway, only to find out that the professor has already left. After this, we see Gu Xiao receiving passes to an animation event. Since it was a big event, everyone was dressed in character costumes, and Lu's co-workers were also present at the event. At the event, the co-workers spot Lu taking photos of two girls. Lu, who was in costume herself, starts running away upon being seen. The co-workers chase after her, but Yi-chang manages to catch her. Seeing her like this, her co-workers ask, "Why are you in a girl's costume?" Lu pretends to act like a boy, but was dressed in a girl's costume. Then Yi-chang pulls her hair, revealing that it is her real hair. Now her truth is exposed in front of them. Outside, Yi-chang asks Lu, "Why did you break our company's rules and join the company? What was your purpose behind this?" Lu replies, "I really like your company and I want to work here." Yi-chang says, "I absolutely dislike people who deceive. Don't show me your face again." Lu responds, "Just because a female programmer broke your heart doesn't mean you should give everyone this kind of pain." Hearing this, Yi-chang becomes very angry and says, "You don't know anything about me." Saying this, he begins to leave, but Lu somehow asks him for some more time. Yi-chang gives her a week and walks away. The next day, Lu goes to the office in her real appearance and apologizes to everyone for hiding the truth. However, her co-workers are unaffected by this revelation. They say, "You are a great programmer, and we want you to work with us. We'll try to convince Yi-chang." After this, Lu, following Gu Xiao's idea, pretends to cry and beg in front of Yi-chang to win him over, but it doesn't affect him at all. Next, we see Yi-chang's mother talking to Yi-tong. Yi-tong tells her, the person Yi-chang went on a date with wasn't a boy but a girl. Hearing this, she becomes very happy. She believes he is in love with someone, which is why he was canceling all his dates. Knowing this, she starts following him, but Lu sees her there and recognizes that she is her mother's classmate. The two sit together and have coffee, where Yi-chang's mother says to Lu, "Come to our house." Lu refuses and says, "I don't have time." However, Yi-chang's mother somehow convinces her. The next day, Lu meets Yi-chang's mother and gives her a gift. Yi-chang's mother asks her to arrange flowers, but Lu doesn't do it well. During this, a thorn pricks Yi-chang's mother's hand, and Lu removes it to help her. Seeing this, his mother says, "Cook something." Lu tries to cook, but the food turns out badly. Suddenly, the house lights go out, and Lu fixes them. However, during this, Yi-chang's mother hurts her foot, so Lu carries her to the hospital. At the hospital, Yi-chang's mother tells Lu, "You are very caring." Just then, Yi-chang comes to see his mother, and seeing Lu asks, "What are you doing here? Did you take time off from the office to come here?" Lu leaves, but Yi-chang's mother says, "I wanted to know who you've been going on blind dates with." Yi-chang replies, "She deceived me by pretending to be a boy." His mother responds, "She wanted to join your company, so she did that. And since I called her here, you should go and apologize to her." Next, Lu goes to Yi-chang and says, "I'm here to challenge you in a game, and if I win, you won't fire me." Hearing this, Yi Chang says, "You're going to challenge me?" Lu replies, "Yes." On the other hand, we see Yi Chang's mother visiting Lu's house, where she learns that Lu is her classmate's daughter. Yi Chang's mother says, "I'm here to meet Lu." At the racetrack, we see Yi Chang cheating to win, and Lu says, "We've only played one game so far." Yi Chang responds, "Fine, I'll decide the next game." Next, we see Yi Chang challenging Lu to a taekwondo match, which Lu has no idea how to play. Nervously, she says, "I'm really scared." Lu says, "Now our score is 1-1, so we will play the third game." But Yi Chang refuses to play and says, "Tomorrow, I'll fire you from your job." Hearing this, Lu says, "Are you scared?" Yi Chang responds, "If you can walk all the way to the office before it closes, I won't fire you." Lu replies, "That's impossible because the office is too far." Yi Chang says, "Have you already given up?" Hearing this, Lu starts running, but she gets very tired along the way. At that moment, Yi Chang comes to her and says, "Let's go home." Lu feels happy, thinking he won't fire her. Yi Chang tells her, "I need to return the costume, so I'm asking you to sit at home." As soon as Lu reaches home, she is shocked to see Yi Chang's mother at her house. Lu's mom says, "Now that Lu is here, say whatever you have to and leave." Yi Chang's mom responds, "I've come here with a marriage proposal." Hearing this, Lu's mom is surprised and asks, "What is all this about?" Yi Chang's mother explains, "When we were at the restaurant, these two fell in love. That's why your daughter joined my son's company." Lu's mom asks, "Do you like Yi Chang?" Hearing this, Lu lowers her head and remains silent. Yi Chang's mother says, "If you both love each other, you should get married." But Lu's mom becomes furious and pushes Yi Chang's mother out of the house. Lu tells her mom, "You shouldn't have done that." Her mom replies, "You told me you loved programming and wanted to work, but now I'm hearing something completely different." The next day, Yi Chang's mom calls Lu's mom and says, "Don't be upset about yesterday," and invites her to lunch. She adds, "Although our family's status is quite different, don't feel inferior about it." She deliberately said this to provoke Lu's mom, hoping she would come to lunch to assert her family's status. The next day, Lu's mom tells her husband and Lu to dress in their best clothes for the lunch. Meanwhile, Yi Chang's mom calls Yi Chang and says, "I hurt my leg." But when Yi Chang arrives outside the house, he sees Lu's family there and realizes he's been trapped. During lunch, everyone talks about Lu and Yi Chang, making Yi Chang uncomfortable. He gets up to play music but sits back down after his father scolds him. Following her mother's signal, Yi Tong tricks Yi Chang into drinking wine by calling it fruit juice. After just a little wine, Yi Chang gets drunk. Yi Tong and Lu take him to his room, but Yi Tong leaves halfway. In the room, Yi Chang, intoxicated, falls on Lu and starts kissing her. And Lu also doesn't stop him from doing that because she liked him. But just then, their parents arrive and separate them after seeing this. Upon realizing this, her mom says, "Now that we are all here, why not talk about Yi Chang and Lu's marriage? Because we just saw how eager they both are to meet each other." Hearing this, Lu is quite shocked. But Lu's mother, angry, takes her family away from there, after which we see Lu thinking, "There is only one way to save my job and stay with Yi Chang, and that is to accept this marriage." So when she gets home, she tells her mother, "I want to get married." Hearing this, her mother stands up and asks, "Are you two dating?" Lu denies it and tells her everything. "I had a crush on Yi Chang long ago, and that's why I learned programming and came to work in this company as a guy. So now, I won't let go of such a great opportunity." The next morning, when Yi Chang wakes up and goes out of his room, he sees everyone preparing for the wedding, and Yi Tong starts measuring his suit. He says, "Whose wedding is happening?" But when he finds out that his wedding is with Lu, he is very shocked. His mother tells him, "Whatever you did with her yesterday in front of her parents, you will have to take responsibility for it." Yi Chang says, "I was drunk, so I'll apologize for it. And besides, I had fruit wine, so how did I get drunk?" Saying this, he looks at Yi Tong, wondering if she was the one who gave him the wine. Then his mom says, "I asked her to do it because I really like Lu." Upon hearing this, Yi Chang says, "If you like Lu, then marry her." Just then, his father arrives and he tells him, "Mom likes Lu a lot and she wants me to marry her. And even if I agree to the marriage, Lu will never agree to it." But then he finds out that Lu had already said yes to the marriage, and hearing this, he is completely shocked and starts thinking about why she said yes. On the other hand, all of Lu's colleagues at the office give her a very nice farewell. Now, before she can say anything to them, Yi Chang arrives there, calling her to his office, and asks, "Why did you say yes to the marriage? Was it just so you could keep your job here?" Yi Chang tells her, "Whatever I did, I was drunk." so I apologize. I can't marry you. But when he goes out again, he meets his father, who starts scaring him by saying, if you don't agree to the marriage, I'll take back all my investments from this company. In this way, he is frightened into agreeing to the marriage. In the next scene, near the swimming pool, Yi Chang says to Lu, you're afraid of heights, but I want to see how sincere you are about this marriage, and to prove your sincerity, you'll have to jump off this platform. But if you can't do it, then you can refuse the marriage. Yi Chang thinks she won't jump, but Lu jumps. And seeing this, Yi Chang jumps into the water and pulls her out. Seeing no way out, he also agrees to the marriage, but with 3 conditions. Yi Chang says, the first condition is that if after 1 year of marriage, either party wants a divorce, they must agree to it, without any conditions. The second condition is that no outsider should find out about our marriage, and the third condition is that neither of us will interfere in each other's personal matters. Lu agrees to all these conditions, after which the two register their marriage and receive the certificate. Then Yi Chang's mom tells everyone to have dinner together that evening. Yi Chang makes an excuse about work and leaves. His mother then says, help Lu bring all her belongings to our house because now she will be staying with us. Hearing this, Yi Chang refuses at first, but when he sees his father's face, he laughs and agrees. Later, Lu goes to Gu Xiao's house to pack all her belongings. Meanwhile, Yi Chang works late into the night because he is afraid to go home. However, he eventually thinks, Lu isn't a tiger that she'll bite me, and decides to go home. Upon arriving, Yi Chang asks Lu, why didn't you turn on the lights? Lu responds, you told me not to touch anything. The next morning, Yi Chang forgets that he is now sharing his house with Lu and directly enters the washroom, where Lu is already present. Both of them scream loudly upon seeing each other. Later, Yi Chang gives her the contract to sign and explains a few more conditions for living in the house. At the office, all the colleagues are happy to see Yi Chang back and ask him for a party. Meanwhile, Yi Ming arrives and takes Lu with him, asking her, what exactly did you do? Lu simply tells him, my mom and Yi Chang's mom were childhood classmates, so I got my job back. She then invites Yi Ming to join her at a party that night. Later, Lu takes food to Yi Chang's office. On seeing this, Yi Chang quickly shuts the door and says, didn't I tell you not to let anyone know that we're married? Lu responds, what's the big deal? I used to come to the office before too. Lu then suggests playing rock, paper, scissors and says, if you lose, you'll have to eat with me. Although Lu loses the game, seeing how desperate she is to have a meal with him, Yi Chang deliberately loses on purpose. After finishing his work, Yi Chang goes to check on Lu, only to find that she's not in the office. Meanwhile, Lu takes her colleagues out for dinner, where they also ask her, how did you convince Yi Chang? She gives them the same explanation. My mom and Yi Chang's mom were childhood friends, so I got my job back. At home, while Yi Chang is having dinner, he sees photos of Lu and her colleagues at the dinner, which makes him jealous. Just then, his mother calls and asks about Lu. Yi Chang tells her she's gone out to dinner with her colleagues. His mother insists, it's getting late. You should go and pick her up. After much insistence, Yi Chang goes to pick her up. He messages Lu asking, where are you? However, he sees Yi Ming and Lu talking together. He approaches them and asks, what are you doing here? Yi Ming replies, that's a question I should be asking you, what are you doing here? But Yi Chang says to her, it's late at night, so I'll drop you home. Saying this, he grabs her hand and starts taking her away from there. The next morning, Yi Chang's mom calls him for an important matter and says, bring Lu along. When they arrive, his mother says, since you both delayed the wedding ceremony, I want to do a wedding photo shoot for you. The employees there forcibly take them and amusingly help them change outfits for the photo shoot. As Lu is coming downstairs all dressed up, Yi Chang is watching her. Since she wasn't used to wearing heels, she almost falls. However, Yi Chang catches her, and in that moment, the photographer captures many pictures of them. But Yi Chang finds their outfits unsuitable, so he says, we'll wear something comfortable for the photo shoot. That night, Yi Chang is at home looking at the photos. Lu comes into his room and asks, did you see the photos? He lies and says, what's even worth looking at in them? Lu then tells him, Mom asked me yesterday to select some good photos from them. Yi Chang replies, I'm really tired, so I'm going to sleep. So Lu sits down and starts selecting the photos herself. But Yi Chang can't resist and joins her to pick the photos, where they have fun selecting them together. The next morning, Yi Chang is woken up by noise, and when he goes outside, he sees Lu making breakfast. Seeing her working barefoot, he brings her slippers and thinks, since she woke up so lovingly to make me breakfast, I'll eat it at the office. At the office, Yi Chang wonders, why hasn't Lu brought the breakfast yet? So he steps out of his cabin and sees Lu carrying the breakfast to Yiming's room and coming out from there. In reality, the breakfast was made for Yiming because he had paid the dinner bill that day. Yiming enters Yi Chang's cabin and says, "Lu made this breakfast. Would you like to try it?" But Yi Chang angrily replies, "I don't eat food like this," and leaves. Later, an investor arrives at the company. When he watches the game demo, it has some glitches. Because of this, the investor says, "I'm rejecting this project," and leaves. Seeing this, Yi Chang gets very angry because an employee, Diane, didn't do her job properly. He scolds her harshly and says, "You should quit your job." Diane goes to Lu and says, "If I quit this job, I don't know what will happen to me, so please, just like you convinced Yi Chang for yourself, help me too." Lu then goes to Yi Chang and, narrating the story, says, "Diane shouldn't face such a big punishment for one mistake." At first, Yi Chang tries to explain patiently, but when Lu keeps insisting, he angrily says, "That's enough." Hearing this, Lu leaves in anger. In the next scene, Yi Chang finds out that Lu ordered food for him and wrote a small note on it. No one should take out their anger on food. Seeing this, he realizes he shouldn't have spoken to Lu in that manner. He then goes to her, but Lu, seeing him there, tries to leave. Yi Chang grabs her hand and Ming, watching this, says, "You should treat Lu well." Yi Chang deliberately calls Lu Mrs. Chang in front of him. This leaves both Lu and Ming shocked. In the next scene, Yi Ming goes to Yi Tong and asks, "Are Chang and Lu married?" Yi Tong tells him everything and says, "It's an arranged marriage." On the other hand, Lu confronts Yi Chang, saying, "You said we'd keep our relationship a secret, so why did you reveal it?" Yi Chang replies, "Oh, so it bothers you more because Yi Ming found out? If you like him, why did you marry me?" Lu responds, "I don't like him." But when Yi Chang keeps scolding her, she says, "You were the one who said we wouldn't interfere in each other's personal matters." Saying this, she leaves. In the next scene, Diane meets Yi Chang and says, "I couldn't focus on work because of my girlfriend." Yi Chang tells him, "You should keep your personal and professional life separate. If you make another mistake, I'll fire you." Diane gets happy and says, "You're really not firing me?" Then Yi Chang goes to the office, where Lu gives him the new game demo and asks, if the investor comes back, can Diane keep his job? Yi Chang refuses and takes her to a restaurant. Yi Chang makes Lu sit outside while he goes inside. Diane approaches Lu and says, "I don't understand why Yi Chang brought us here." Just then, Diane's girlfriend comes to Yi Chang. Yi Chang calls Lu, leaves the phone on the side, and lets her overhear everything. Diane's girlfriend starts flirting with Yi Chang and says, "You're so smart. I want to make you my boyfriend." Yi Chang replies, "I don't want a toxic relationship." Hearing this, Diane's girlfriend says, "I only kept Diane as a gaming partner, and I'll break up with him right now." Diane, unable to take it anymore, confronts her and says, "I accept the breakup." Realizing it was a trap to expose her truth, Diane's girlfriend leaves. Seeing this, Lu thinks to herself, "I misjudged him so much." Diane then tells her, "Boss may seem cold-hearted on the outside, but deep down, he's really kind and knows everything about everyone." After this, Yi Chang and Lu have lunch together, where Lu praises him a lot and keeps gazing at him. Yi Chang says, "Yesterday, you were really angry with me." And at that moment, we see that Yi Chang wanted to drink milk tea, but it wasn't available there. So Lu, using the excuse of going to the restroom, goes to a nearby shop to get milk tea and returns with every flavor because she didn't know which one Yi Chang liked. That's why she says, "I brought a lot of tea, so share it with others." However, Yi Chang refuses and says, "I'll drink all of them because Lu brought them for me," which makes Lu very happy. While Yi Chang is paying the bill, he notices a girl and starts following her. But even after searching for a while, he can't find her. He becomes very upset, goes home, and locks himself in his room. A flashback reveals that this girl is programmer Li Man, whom Yi Chang used to like. The next day, Lu invites Yi Chang to dinner, but on his way, he runs into his ex-girlfriend. He asks her, "Are you out of the money you took from me? Do you even know how I've been spending my time all these years?" Li Man responds, "Those times were tough for me too. I missed you a lot." But Yi Chang replies, "I can't forgive you. It would be better if you left the way you came." Yi Chang then sits somewhere alone, while Lu is waiting for him. Lu receives a call from her parents who say, "You haven't visited us even once since the wedding." Lu replies, "I've been very busy," and hangs up, making an excuse. Meanwhile, Yi Ming comes to Yi Chang and asks, "What's wrong?" Yi Chang says, "Li Man is back." Yi Ming replies, "It's been 3 years and you still haven't moved on? Does Lu know about Liman?" This reminds Yi Chang of Lu's invitation and he rushes to meet her. Meanwhile, the waiter informs Lu the restaurant is about to close, so she leaves. When Yi Chang arrives, he feels terrible. Just then, Lu appears in front of him. Yi Chang apologizes, but Lu says, "It's okay. I'm just happy you came." The two of them sit outside, eat, and talk a lot. Later, they enjoy themselves at the park as well. The next day, Lu is cleaning the house and Yi Chang starts helping her. Due to the door's sudden movement, Lu falls on top of him, and she feels so comfortable that she doesn't get up. The following day, an investor is supposed to visit the company. Everyone waits for the investor, but when Yi Chang sees that the company's representative is Li Man, he cancels the deal. Later, Li Man talks to Yi Chang privately and says, "You shouldn't let this opportunity slip away." She adds, "Because of me, you've never dated anyone until now." Yi Chang replies, "Maybe you haven't noticed my female programmer." He then goes to Lu and kisses her, leaving everyone shocked. Li Man, upset, leaves the scene. Afterward, when their colleagues ask, Lu explains, "Our parents introduced us to each other." The next day, Lu's colleagues don't let her do any work, so Yi Chang offers to take her out for lunch. That evening, everyone goes out for dinner where Lu takes great care of Yi Chang. Li Man doesn't like this. She uses the excuse of going to the restroom to talk to someone, but Yi Chang follows her. He asks, "Why are you doing all this?" Li Man says, "You two are not made for each other because you don't even know that she is allergic to seafood." Then Yi Chang says, "Are you made for me, the one who cheated and ran away with money?" At that moment, Li Man hugs Yi Chang. She feels very sad. And Lu sees both of them like this, realizing that Li Man is the programmer Yi Chang likes. Seeing this, Lu leaves the place. Yi Ming also witnesses this. He goes to Lu and says, "Now you are his wife. No one can separate you two." Then Lu says, "That can happen once we get divorced." She then tells him that theirs is a contract marriage. He asks, "Why did you do this?" To which Lu replies, "I already liked Yi Chang." On the other hand, Yi Chang says to Li Man, "Stop doing all this now. No matter how hard you try, I can't be with you like before." Yi Chang then takes Lu home. After reaching home, Yi Chang and Lu get into an argument because Lu was already angry about Li Man. However, Yi Chang notices that Lu's allergy has worsened. He goes to get medicine for her, and when he returns, Lu is asleep. So he applies some medicine and leaves the rest there. In the next scene, Lu goes to watch a movie with a colleague, Lin, because he was feeling very low. In the theater, Lin starts experiencing chest pain. Lu advises him to get a checkup. Meanwhile, Yi Chang is waiting for Lu at home. But since she hasn't returned yet, he starts imagining Lu with Yi Ming. He messages her, but when he doesn't receive a response, he blocks her. On the other hand, Lu is at the hospital. The doctor says Lin is fine. Later, Lin drops Lu home. Seeing her, Yi Chang pretends to be asleep and says, "You disturbed my sleep. I told you not to make any noise after 11 p.m. Then Yi Chang leaves angrily. The next day, while returning from work, Yi Chang sees the same car Lu came home in. He realizes it belongs to Lin. Lin explains, "Lu took me to the hospital because I wasn't feeling well." Then Yi Chang asks Lu, "Why didn't you tell me?" Lu replies, "You didn't give me a chance. How could I have told you?" In the next scene, Li Man meets Yi Tong. Li Man cleverly tricks Yi Tong into revealing that they had a contract marriage. Afterward, Yi Tong realizes her mistake and that she has told everything to Li Man. Meanwhile, Lu is working on a project. She works very hard, and as a result, she falls asleep on her chair. Yi Chang moves her to the bed. The next day, Lu completes the game draft and hands it to Yi Chang. Then Yi Chang tells her to rest. When she refuses, Yi Chang carries her to her room. Everyone likes Lu's idea, and everyone is very happy to see it. Then an investor tells Yi Chang that he came here at Li Man's request. Yi Chang takes Li Man's address and sets out to meet her. When he gets there, he sees Li Man's father snatching money from her. Seeing Yi Chang, they run away. Yi Chang asks, "Why are you doing all this?" Li Man replies, "I want to return everything you gave me." But Yi Chang says, "I don't need any of this," and then leaves. In the next scene, Lu is waiting for Yi Chang. She messages him, but Yi Chang had already blocked her. When Yi Chang comes back, his mom asks, "Why is Li Man back?" Because Yi Tong had already told her everything. Yi Chang says, "What do you want from me? First you blackmailed me, then got me married without my consent. What more do you want?" As soon as they turn around, they see Lu standing there. Having overheard everything, Lu doesn't say anything, but goes to the room and asks Yi Chang, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Yi Chang apologizes and says, "We will get divorced and I will talk to Aunt about it." However, Yi Chang feels sad and says, "Our agreement was for 1 year. but Lu doesn't listen to him and leaves. The next day, Yi Chang is looking for Lu, but she is at Gu Xiao's house, so he doesn't find her. Lu tells her friend, I thought he would start liking me if I stayed with Yi Chang, but now it's not possible. Li Man is back and she won't let it happen. I'll divorce him. Gu Xiao says, don't say that. She's his ex from 3 years ago, and you shouldn't think like this. Just then, Lu gets a call from Yi Tong, who calls her for something important. On the other hand, Yi Chang also arrives there, brought by Yi Ming. Yi Chang says to Yi Ming, you drove me 3 hours to Lover's Point. Do you love me? Hearing this, Yi Ming laughs and goes to park the car. At Lover's Point, Lu and Yi Tong are also inside, where everyone is playing games. Yi Tong tells Lu to play a game. Lu starts playing and is about to collide with a big rock. Meanwhile, Yi Ming messages Yi Chang, I've gone inside. You should come in too. Yi Chang comes inside and sees Lu playing a game, about to collide with a big rock. He rushes to her. When Lu opens her eyes, she sees Yi Chang standing in front of her. Yi Ming tells Yi Tong, now that the task is done, let's leave. Then Lu and Yi Chang realize it was all a plan. Yi Chang says, let's enjoy now. They then go to a room booked by Yi Tong, which was decorated like a bridal room. Lu is surprised to see it. Then Yi Chang goes to get a cake for Lu. But since it's late at night, he doesn't find anything. So he makes a cake out of watermelon and calls Lu downstairs. Lu is happy that Yi Chang remembered her birthday. Then they cut the cake together. After that, Lu and Yi Chang go to the room. Lu goes to take a shower, and Yi Chang imagines himself romancing Lu, but Lu slaps him. They then decide to share the room. Lu says, we've shared a room once before, so what's the big deal now? They then fall asleep. The next day, Yi Ming is getting ready to leave. Just then, Yi Tong stops him. It's Lu's birthday. So Yi Ming says to her, today we'll cut your cake here. Hearing this, Yi Chang says, we already cut the cake last night. Then they all have a lot of fun. While returning home, Lu's parents call. They say, even today Yi Chang is busy. Yi Chang replies, today we'll come to your house. But before leaving, they all make a cake together and enjoy themselves. Just then, Yi Chang gets a call revealing the truth about Li Man's father. Yi Chang asks Lu to go home and goes to meet Li Man's father. Li Man's father explains, Li Man had nothing to do with this. She loves you a lot. She could never think of doing something like this. Meanwhile, Lu waits for Yi Chang for a long time. Her parents say, who could be so busy on a day like this that they couldn't come? On the other side, Yi Chang and Li Man are talking. Yi Chang finds out that Li Man is innocent and that her father was behind everything. Li Man could never betray Yi Chang. In the next scene, Lu falls asleep after returning home. Yi Chang adjusts her blanket, but she wakes up. Yi Chang apologizes to her. The next day, Yi Chang and Li Man meet at the hospital because Li Man's father is unwell. Li Man tells him everything. I didn't intentionally take money from your company. It was all my father's doing because he gambled and drank. Meanwhile, Yi Tong takes Lu shopping. There, they see Li Man and Yi Chang together. Yi Tong stops Lu from going over and takes her home. At home, Lu falls asleep on the sofa. When Yi Chang returns, Yi Tong asks him everything. Yi Chang takes her outside and tells her the truth, that Li Man is innocent. Yi Tong asks, who will you stay with now? Yi Chang doesn't answer. Lu overhears everything and spends the whole night thinking about it. The next day, Lu and Li Man meet. Lu says, he likes me. Li Man invites Yi Chang to dinner and messages Lu, telling her not to come. Hearing this, Lu feels very bad. This was Li Man's trick to keep Yi Chang away from Lu. Yi Chang brings food for Lu, but Lu says, I've already had dinner. Yi Chang starts eating, and they have a conversation that makes things better between them. Lu says, when you go to meet Li Man, take me with you because people in the office gossip. Yi Chang agrees. The next day, Li Man calls Yi Chang for a meeting. Yi Chang tells Lu, come to the meeting with me today and wear blue. I like it. Then Yi Chang does Lu's makeup himself. Lu asks, how do you know how to do this? You've done such good makeup. Yi Chang replies, when you grow up in a house with a mom and sister, you learn these things. After the meeting, Yi Chang gets drunk. Lu takes him home. At home, Yi Chang kisses Lu and they spend the night together. The next day, Yi Chang asks Lu, did something happen last night? Lu denies it. Yi Chang goes to the office and replaces Lu with Li Man as the company representative. Lu feels bad. Later, Yi Chang tells Yi Ming, Lu doesn't have enough experience. Once she creates a game, I'll give her position back. But Lu thinks Yi Chang is doing all this because of Li Man's return. She believes Yi Chang still has feelings for Li Man, which makes her sad. Afterward, Lu creates a game where she has to beat up her boss. The boss's outfit resembles Yi Chang's. Everyone likes the game. The idea comes from Diane, who says, there should be a game where we can take out all our anger on our boss and feel relaxed. Then Lu comes up with a new idea and prepares a draft for a similar game. But the next day, the draft gets deleted from her computer. Seeing this, she becomes very upset and tells Yi Chang about it. Yi Chang also feels bad. Yiming says, "It's okay, you can prepare it again." But Lu says, "It will take a lot of effort to make it again, and now we don't have enough time to do all this. I can't do it anymore." She leaves feeling sad. After this, Yi Chang talks to his dad and says, "Please ask the company for more time." At first, his dad refuses, but Yi Chang speaks to him very politely. Even then, he doesn't agree. Yi Chang says, "Fine, I'll go tell mom that you're not helping my Lu in this matter." Hearing his wife's name, Yi Chang's father agrees. The next day, Yi Chang gives everyone this good news. Everyone resumes their work and feels very happy. They work all night. By morning, their work is completed because Yi Chang also helped them. When everyone was asleep, Yi Chang finished Lu's work. In the morning, when everyone wakes up, they find out their work is already done. Lu feels very happy and submits the work. Then she throws a party for everyone. The next day, Lu finds out that Liman had come to the company the previous time, but there is nothing on the CCTV recording. Upon inquiry, it is discovered that the camera wasn't working properly at that time. Lu gets angry and confronts Liman. Yi Chang is also there. He says, "If you are saying that Liman deleted the draft, then show some proof." Lu says, "I don't have proof, but this is completely true. I know she did it. Please believe me." Yi Chang says, "You should apologize. You can't accuse someone without any evidence." Hearing this, Lu feels bad and leaves in anger. Liman says, "See how she's behaving with me? Now you must have realized how much she dislikes me." After this, Yi Chang goes home and pacifies Lu. Then they go shopping together, where they wear matching couple shirts. Just then, Liman calls, and Yi Chang leaves. Lu sees them together and feels very bad. Later, Yi Chang and Lu go to Yi Chang's parents' house. His mom gets very happy seeing them in couple shirts and asks them to stay the night. Lu is about to refuse, but Yi Chang agrees beforehand, so Lu has to stay. She sets up a bed on the floor to sleep. Yi Chang asks, "Why are you sleeping here?" Lu replies, "Don't talk to me, do your work, and go stay with Liman." Yi Chang explains the truth about Liman's father, and Lu believes him after hearing it. The next day, while Lu is cooking, she starts feeling nauseous. She thinks, "Could I be pregnant? Am I going to be a mother? I should get a checkup." She goes to the doctor and finds out she is pregnant. The doctor says, "It seems like you want to surprise your husband." Lu replies, "Yes." Then she starts thinking, "I don't know if this baby will be a surprise for Yi Chang or a responsibility. Will he be happy hearing this news, or will it shock him?" She says to herself, "Yi Chang doesn't even know that we spent a night together." Yi Chang is waiting for Lu. On the way, Lu meets with a car accident. When Lu is being taken to the hospital, she sees Yi Chang and Liman together. After this, Lu decides, "I won't tell anyone about this. I will take care of my child myself and provide every possible facility." Lu thinks, "I will divorce Yi Chang and never come between them. I will leave Liman and Yi Chang to their own fate." Lu is very sad. After the doctor finishes her checkup, Lu asks the doctor, "Is my child okay?" The doctor replies, "Yes, the baby is absolutely fine." Hearing this, Lu feels relieved and happy. After this, Yiming reaches the hospital and comforts her. At the same time, Yiming finds out that Lu is pregnant. However, Lu tells Yiming, "Don't tell this to Yi Chang." When Yi Chang asks Yiming about Lu, Yiming informs him Lu has seen you and Liman together, which makes her very upset. Yiming tells Yi Chang, "You should try to convince her." At home, Yi Chang tells Lu everything about why he went to Liman. He says, "I have created a plan to trap Liman and her father." He adds, "Now I only want you, and there is no one else in my heart." But Lu says, "I don't want to hear anything. I know you were with Liman yesterday." The next day, Lu wins first prize in a competition she participates in. Yiming is bringing the prize to her. He is very happy and calls Yi Chang to inform him Lu has won first prize. Yiming says, "I will tell her so that she can be happy. She's been very sad for many days." But Yi Chang stops Yiming because he wants to give the good news to Lu himself. When Yi Chang comes home, he tells Lu about her winning the prize. However, Lu doesn't respond well. She asks Yi Chang for a divorce and is not happy about winning the prize. Lu says, "I want to leave this job." Yi Chang says to her, "This is the same job for which you disguised yourself as a boy. Why are you leaving it now? You know you are a very good programmer. I need you. And this was your dream job. So why are you doing this?" Lu says, "I don't want to do this job anymore, sorry." And then she leaves. The next day, Yi Chang's assistant calls him and informs Lu has resigned. When Yi Chang reaches the office, he finds divorce and resignation papers on his desk signed by Lu. Meanwhile, Lu is with Gu Xiao. She tells Gu Xiao, I am pregnant, but I haven't told this to Yi Chang or anyone else. Gu Xiao says, if Yi Chang leaves you or divorces you, then you and I will take care of this child together. We will raise it very well. Lu says, I will shift to another city. He is a responsible person, and hearing about the child, he won't be able to leave me, but I don't want him to stay with me out of obligation. Hearing this, Gu Xiao gets very angry. Yi Chang searches for Lu everywhere, but he doesn't find her. Then Lu sends Yi Chang a goodbye message. Seeing this, Yi Chang goes out to find her. Meanwhile, Lu has finished her packing and goes to the airport to catch a flight. When Yi Chang reaches the airport, she has already left. Yi Chang tells his mother, Lu wants a divorce from me. Upon hearing this, his mother is very shocked and says, this must have happened because of Li Man. After this, Yi Chang makes a plan. He invites Li Man to dinner, which makes her very happy, and she thinks that Yi Chang is coming closer to her again. Yi Chang turns on the recorder on his mobile and excuses himself to the washroom. As soon as he leaves, Li Man's father arrives. He sits next to Li Man and tells her, Lu had an accident. When she came for a checkup, I saw her. When I asked the doctor, I found out that she is pregnant. Li Man's father says, I wanted to get rid of that child at any cost. That's why I followed Lu. But at that time, a car came in front of Lu, causing her a minor accident. All of this is being recorded. Just then, Yi Chang returns and says, now I know the truth about you, Li Man. Yi Chang says, I sent a message from your phone so that the truth about you and your father could come to light, and now everything is clear. Yi Chang learns the truth about Li Man and her father, but he still doesn't know that Lu is pregnant. After this, Yi Chang leaves. He remembers that he and Lu had spent a night together. Because of this, he drinks heavily and misses Lu a lot. A few days later, Yi Chang has a business trip to the same city where Lu has gone. Lu is at a shop, and Yi Chang arrives there too. But when Lu sees him, she hides and they don't meet. In the next scene, Lu thinks, he has come for me. But then she tells herself, he must be here for work. In the next scene, Yi Chang goes to Lu's parents' house to meet them. At their house, he sees items from the same city where he had gone for his business trip. Seeing this, he realizes that Lu must be in that city. Yi Chang leaves all the work at the company and goes out to search for Lu. He calls his friend Lu Xing and tells him, I am coming there to search for my wife. Lu Xing is the same friend who had accompanied Yi Chang on his previous business trip. Yi Chang meets Lu Xing. During a dinner, Yi Chang and Lu run into each other, but Lu speaks to him like she would to a stranger. Yi Chang tries to get closer to her, but Lu runs away. Then there is an official dinner where Lu arrives. Yi Chang goes to her in front of everyone and says, why are you here? Talk to me, I apologize. But Lu Xing says, you can't do this. How can you say that? Yi Chang replies, she is not just any random girl. She is my wife, and I am talking to my wife, so no one here will stop me. Lu says, I have already divorced you. Yi Chang says, I haven't signed that letter yet, so you are still my wife. Lu becomes silent after this. Yi Chang apologizes to Lu and says, I found out that Li Man was the one who deleted the game draft. I have seen the deleted footage. He says, you waited for me for 5 years and are still struggling so much. How can I let you go? I thought I would work hard, struggle, but I would never leave you. I will keep convincing you. But Lu says, I can't stay with you anymore because I feel like you are doing all of this just to fix your mistake. You don't care about me. Lu leaves and Yi Chang feels bad. He finishes the work at the company and returns. Then there is a chili eating competition between Yi Chang and his friends. The one who eats the most wins, and the one who drinks water first loses. Yi Chang wins this competition, and Lu becomes his assistant because it was decided that the winner would have Lu as their assistant. After this, Yi Chang takes Lu out on a pretext of work. He is with her everywhere. At one point, Yi Chang tries to apologize to Lu, but Lu Sheng intervenes. Lu Sheng stands with Yi Chang, and Lu leaves. Lu is already very upset. Meanwhile, Tong and Ming are also keeping an eye on Yi Chang. They find out that Yi Chang and Lu have met. Then they all have dinner together and enjoy themselves. Afterward, Lu's health deteriorates. Lu Sheng, who is Yi Chang's friend, takes her to the hospital. There, it is revealed that Lu is pregnant. Hearing this, Lu Xing is also shocked. Then, they all play a game, where the loser has to wash the dishes. Tong passes a paper to Ming, but Tong puts the whole paper in his mouth, only giving a little to Lu so that Yi Chang can get closer to Lu. Lu finds all of this very strange, and she gives up. She starts washing the dishes. Just then, her health worsens, and she starts vomiting. She tells Yi Chang, and he takes her place and starts washing the dishes. In the next scene, Lu's health doesn't improve, and she is admitted to the hospital. Lu Xing is with her. Yi Chang arrives at the hospital and finds out that Lu is pregnant. He is shocked to hear this. Yi Chang asks, "Is this my child?" Lu Xing replies, "No, it's my child." Yi Chang says, "That's why you have been avoiding me and keeping your distance from me, because you're about to become a mother? And that's why you've been ignoring me since I got here?" After this, Yi Chang leaves. Lu asks Lu Chang, "Why did you do this? Why did you lie to him when this is actually Chang's child? You shouldn't have done that." Lu Xing says, "If he loves you, he will definitely come back to you. But if he is doing all of this just out of responsibility, he will never come back." Lu feels like he will never come back now. Just thinking about it makes her sad. Yi Chang is returning home. He looks like he is deeply hurt. When he reaches home, his father motivates him and says, "How can you leave Lu like this? You don't know how much your mother loves her." Yi Chang then finds out more about Lu and Lu Sheng. He learns that Lu Sheng is already engaged. He feels that Lu Sheng is cheating on Lu. Then Yi Chang goes to that city and punches Lu Sheng hard. He says, "You are cheating on my Lu. You're already engaged." Does Lu know about this? After the truth is revealed, Yi Chang goes to Lu's house and hugs her. This is unexpected for Lu. Lu says, "I thought you would never come back." The next day, Lu and Lu Xing meet. Lu Xing tells her, "Yi Chang likes you, that's why he came back. It's impossible for anyone to happily raise someone else's child. But even knowing that, he came to you. This means he has always liked you." Lu says, "Yes, I now understand that he likes me too. Thank you so much for telling me all of this. If it weren't for you, I would have left Yi Chang." Then everything is set right between Lu and Yi Chang. Their families are also very happy. Yi Chang and Lu start spending time together, going out and having fun. Then one day, Yi Chang proposes to Lu for marriage and Lu agrees. In the next scene, Lu meets Li Man. Li Man apologizes to her and says, "I am going abroad for my father's treatment." Lu forgives her. Just then, Yi Chang arrives to pick up Lu. Li Man feels happy seeing them. She also understands that now, no one else can come into Yi Chang's life except Lu. Now we see Yi Tong and Yi Ming, who are now in a relationship. They are making coffee together. Yi Ming is teaching Yi Tong how to make coffee. Yi Tong asks, "Yi Ming, you used to treat me like a sister since childhood." Yi Ming replies, "I stopped considering you like a sister the moment we shared our first kiss." Yi Tong says, "Oh, is that so? Well then, let's have another kiss." They kiss each other again. The single employees at the office watch all this and say, "Now, this has started here as well. Thank goodness Yi Chang and Lu aren't here. Otherwise, they would have started this too, and all we could do was watch and burn our hearts with jealousy." Then we see Yi Chang and Lu, who are going somewhere together. They kiss each other in a public place. The drama ends here with a happy ending. How much rating would you give this drama, and which was your favorite scene? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos.